It's a great process, and the opportunities are there. Just taking the time to figure out who you should be searching for. You reach out to people and they're willing to sort of help and point you in the right direction, and that's been great. The coaching along the way, like that lead generation thing is priceless. A big part for me of the networking process was talking with different people and legitimately getting their advice about like what opportunities are there and sort of how I should sort of hone in on those. You could be a CTO right now. You could be, VP technology. You can do whatever you want to do. So kind of take your blinders off a little bit, open up your opportunities a little bit. You're sort of thinking too small. And yeah, so the 16 years at Microsoft were great. I had the opportunity to work on a ton of different things. Leaving was quite the culture shock. Within Microsoft, you end up with a very internally pointed network. And when I started to look for what my next role was, sort of try to tap into that hidden market, I just realized I had very few contacts because all I know is Microsoft. It was a big barrier to overcome to find the breadth that I needed. I'm not the guy who shows up at cocktail parties and like works the room. Once we started into the lead generation, I couldn't believe the different roles, opportunities, and people that I was talking to. So yeah, it was a kind of a great journey that way. One thing that was super encouraging was almost everybody that I talked to were very senior folks and willing to just get you hooked up to whoever needed to talk to and sort of help you, find the right spot for you. A big piece for me was, having people sort of look at my background and say, oh, wow, you've got a lot going for you here. I could see how you'd fit in a lot of different places. Really, really helped sort of bolster my confidence. Just being able to sort of chat with people and like what advice they might have for me. All of that turned out to be a ton of fun, even though it felt like such a huge transition when I started to make it. My sort of advice to those who are kind of stepping on the edge would be just, go ahead and jump off. It's fine. It's fun. But I'll reach out to see if I can talk to the CEO of the company and just see if I can just get a conversation set up, 20-minute networking kind of conversation. Like, this is what I could do, what I'm kind of looking for, and being confident. Like I know what I'm going to say when I jump on this phone call, and that allowed me to make a really tight connection. Projecting sort of confidence, it takes a little bit of effort. I'd say jump in. Like it's a great process, and that lead generation thing is priceless. The opportunities are there. Just taking the time to figure out who you should be searching for and getting some good advice there, and then actually sort of going through the process was great. And the coaching along the way, like you reach out to people and they're willing to sort of help and point you in the right direction, and that's been great. Yeah, so I think that's been a very lasting effect for me, is that how do I start networking with the right people to help me out here? Who do I know that is a CTO that I can reach out to that can, help me sort of find my blind spots? How do I find people in the startup community so, I can learn more about that? Where do I go to? I've just continued to sort of search those same, what academy grads do I know in this area? Who do I have a lot in common with? And then just reach out to them and get a meeting.